Jewish people come back, when we come home, the land, it's almost as like the land will breathe a sigh of relief and blossom again. And that's what we see. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's a real miracle to see all of this. And when I taste it, I think of the fact that it's tasting prophecy. It's not just making a salad. I'm actually tasting prophecy.
Wow. हेलो नमस्कार साथीहरू र म आज चाहिँ विशेष गरेर यो यरुशलेम सहरको माखानी यहुदा मार्केटभित्र छु र यहाँ चाहिँ यो माखानी यहुदा चाहिँ पुरानो मार्केट हो अनि जहाँ चाहिँ यहाँ इजरायलको सबै कुराहरू ट्रेडिसनल कुराहरू यहाँ पाइन्छ र मलाई चाहिँ हेल्प गर्नको लागि मेरो साथी हुनुहुन्छ जोनाथन
Hi, shalom everybody.
र उहाँको परिचयबाट आजको हामी कार्यक्रम सुरु गर्दैछौँ उहाँसँग मिलेर आज म ब्लग गर्दैछु उहाँले मलाई उहाँ यहाँ बसोबास गर्नुहुन्छ र यहाँ क्रिस्चियन मिडिया समिटमा आउँदाखेरि मैले उहाँलाई भेट्ने अवसर पाएको हो र उहाँले म तिमीलाई त्यो मार्केट घुमाउने हेल्प गर्छु भनेर भनेपछि म यहाँ आएँ म उहाँको परिचयबाट आजको यो हाम्रो यात्रा सुरु गर्नेछु Hello Jonathan, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Jonathan Feldstein.
Yeah.
I'm an American-born Orthodox Israeli Jew. I live here just south of Jerusalem, about 20 kilometers south of here.
Yeah.
We're now in the middle of Jerusalem.
Yes.
I have been working for most of my life, working to build bridges between Jews and Christians Christians with Israel.
Yeah.
I'm now the president of what's called the Genesis 123 Foundation, which has that mission to build bridges between Jews and Christians with Israel. We do that through all kinds of fantastic programs. One is called Run for Zion, which is the first Christian program oriented around the Jerusalem Marathon. We have a great program, which I'm going to share in the next month or two, to invite your children to illustrate what Israel means to them as part of an international contest, an art contest, and many, many other things. I do a lot of writing in my personal life, mostly on Christian websites, and I'm blessed, of course, that you often are publishing my articles.
Yes.
I also host a podcast where I'm the only, it's called Inspiration from Zion, and I'm the only Orthodox Jew with a weekly program about Israel, coming from Israel, that goes all over the world on the Charisma Podcast Network, which is a major Christian media network in the U.S.
Now, Jonathan, can you explain me about how you experience you are Jewish and living in Israel?
Sure.
Yeah, can you explain me about this? How the prophecy was fulfilled here in Israel? What do you feel your experience? We and all Nepalese people really wanted to listen about your story.
Great. So my story is like this. First of all, it's very personal because of my family. My grandparents, two of my grandparents, came to Israel in the 1930s from Poland when things were getting very dangerous. They were always dangerous for Jews, but things became more dangerous, and my great-grandparents had the vision to send them out of Poland to come to what was then called Palestine. My father was born here in 1937, and what's interesting is, of course, well, many people don't know this, but in the 1930s, through most of the 1940s, it was the Jews in Palestine who were called Palestinians. It wasn't our Arab neighbors. And then on May 14th of 1948, the Jewish residents became Israelis when Israel established independence. So for me, I always say when I speak, and I travel a lot, mostly in America, when I speak in churches, I always say how my father gave me a name that he couldn't even pronounce because there's no TH sound in Hebrew. So he always called me Jonathan. And whether he was telling me to go outside and shovel snow because I grew up in the northeast of the United States, or to rake leaves in the fall, or to go do my homework after school, I always heard an Israeli accent. And that connected me very much to the land, so that the first time I came to visit, when I was a teenager, I felt at home. I felt this is the place that I belong. This is my history, this is which I'll speak about. And this is the place, and I was a child myself, but this is the place where I wanted to raise my children. And that was so important. And fortunately, fast forward, I met my wife, who also, from around the same age, had the same vision, to live in Israel, to raise our children here, to be part of living out Jewish life here. And that's the other piece, is that we're not foreigners here in the land. This is our home. This is where God gave to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all of their descendants, and that's us. So when I received this, I came to Israel 18 and a half years ago. We brought 5 of our 6 children, not because we didn't like one of them, but one of them was born here afterward.
Yeah.
So we have 6 children. Now one is married and 3 grandchildren. And we wanted to raise a family here in not just the capital of the state of Israel and the heart of the Jewish people, but where Jewish history has been written about so much, has played out. When you read your Bible, this is the land. This is the place where the Bible plays out, when we read about King David, this is the city David built. When we read about King Solomon, Solomon built a temple that's just a few kilometers to my left. And all the prophets lived and prophesied here and about here. And so for us, for me personally, it's my family history. But for all of us, the Jewish people, this is the history of our people.
Yeah.
And now, this coming year, we're celebrating 75 years of independence. And what an incredible gift to be able to live here, to receive that gift that God gave to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and now to me and my children and grandchildren. So unfortunately, there are a lot of misconceptions about living in Israel. First of all, that we as the Jewish people don't belong here. And of course, that's silly. I live in Judea. Judea is where we get the word Jew.
Yeah.
And this is our biblical history, and that's undeniable. And anywhere you go here in Israel, it's Jewish history that we unearth, thousands of years of Jewish history. And now, today, look around us.
Yes.
Look around. You see the realization of the prophecy that we're returning, not just the Jewish people, like my family who were in exile in Poland, but from all over the world. Look at our skin color. Look at our eye color. Look at the languages and the accents that we have when we speak Hebrew. That gives away that we are returning. We have returned and continue to return from all over the world, from the 4 corners of the earth. And that is an important thing to clear up, that we are the indigenous people in the land of Israel. And that's without any question, no matter who says otherwise. The other thing that people perceive because of the news is that Israel's always in a state of war, that Israel's unsafe. Well, unfortunately, we are in a state of war. Unfortunately, we have many, many Arab neighbors, Arab and Muslim neighbors, who don't recognize our right to exist. And if we go to Iran, to our east, so they want to destroy us. And in Gaza, where we visited last week, to the border of Gaza, they also have the idea that Israel should be destroyed, not to live in peace with us. So these are realities that we face. I'm wearing a military jacket, not because we're in an unsafe place. God forbid, we're really not. But this is this jacket that was from my son's army unit. All men and most women serve in the army here, and that doesn't make it unsafe. In fact, it's the opposite. It's what makes us so safe. And today we're standing in the Machane Yehuda market.
Yes.
As I'm standing here talking to you, there hasn't been a single policeman walk by.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a single real soldier
Yeah.
walking by. It's safe. It's open. There are Jews and Arabs mixing and intermingling, and that's the norm. The coexistence. There's not peace here. I won't lie, there's not peace by far, but we have coexistence, and life is much safer for me and my children here, certainly as Jews, but I would say even as human beings, than most places in the world, and that makes it such an incredible blessing.
Yeah, Jonathan, can you explain me about this market?
The market. We're in the Machane Yehuda market, which simply means in English, the Yehuda market. It probably goes back somewhere close to 100 years. And we can walk through and see very small alleyways. But what it originally started out as was a fruit and vegetable market, produce. Inside, you'll see butcher shops and other things. And for many years, it was kind of old and run down. But it's an icon. It's a place that's fun to be here because all of Israel gathers here, all backgrounds. And it's fun. It's a really unique piece of Israel. Now, you see candy stores. You see nuts and more candy, and across us there, from where we're standing, there's a bakery, and they're roasting more nuts, and a regular small grocery store. And if we continue to walk, you'll see actually very high-end galleries where people sell art and beautiful souvenirs. And the whole place is regentrified, and it's a gorgeous day today.
Yeah.
I don't even need my jacket.
Yeah,
it's so
it's very
beautiful.
hot,
But
yeah.
if you come at night,
Yeah.
the whole place changes
Yeah.
because it becomes a center of nightlife.
Yes.
All of these stores close.
Mm.
Tables are pulled out. There's music. There's
Yeah.
there bars and restaurants, and it's just such a lively place. So that not 24 hours, but until very, very late at night and from very, very early in the morning,
Yeah.
there's active life going on here, and it's just such a fun place to come and not literally get a taste of Israel, because you can walk around and get fat just from tasting.
Okay, wow, let's walk around and we'll watch so many foods and
Yeah.
everything here. It's a traditional food they sell here.
You'll walk around and you can see traditional food from Jewish cultures, both from the Middle East and from Eastern Europe,
Okay.
and all parts of the world. So that's one of the neat things, is we can go and have lunch now,
Yeah, okay,
and we
so-
can eat in dozens of different restaurants that will give
Yeah.
a different flavor. Just around here, down the road, there's a restaurant that makes food from Georgia, like
Oh, wow.
the former Soviet
Yeah.
empire, the former Soviet republic. We can go and sit down and eat traditional Iraqi food.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and also right next to the Georgian place, there's a place that has traditional Syrian food, because there were Jews in Iraq and in Syria and in Georgia, and we've now all come home. So it's really amazing to be able to walk around and taste so many different flavors of Israel and the ingathering of the exiles from traditions all over the world.
Okay, let's go.
Okay? We're looking at all kinds of dried fruits here. Dried fruits are very popular in Israel. When we walk by fresh food, I wanna point something out that's so interesting.
Okay.
Most of this comes from here, from the land. It's grown here,
Oh,
but
wow.
but let's see, where is that not the case? Dates for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes apricots come from other countries, and maybe the strawberries and ginger. The pineapple definitely
And
comes
so
from other
many dry
countries.
fruits also.
Yeah.
So many dry fruits.
But it's very popular here.
Yeah. And everywhere I saw these types of sweets.
Yeah.
Here it's regular sweet you use,
This is-
or only for function or festival.
Well, this is regular. This is just regular sweets that people will eat all year round. It's not a particular festival, but during the holiday season, like now, we'll see foods that are out that are part of various holiday celebrations, and I'll point those out to you. One of the beautiful things here in Israel is that so much of the food is really, really fresh, and we're going to find bakeries like this everywhere in the market and all over, even in the grocery stores.
Oh.
Baked goods are fresh, and it's really delicious, and it's very fattening.
Okay. एकदमै यहाँ चाहिँ फ्रेस ब्रेडहरू प्राय पाइन्छ सबैतिर ग्रोसरीदेखि लिएर सबैतिर बेकरी र फ्रेस फुडहरू चाहिँ यहाँ एकदमै पाइन्छ र यहाँ हामीले देखिरहेको छौँ मार्केटमा फ्रेस फ्रुट्स
I wish that people could smell how good
Yes.
the herbs smell
Yes,
right now.
I can smell
So
that.
fresh, it just jumps in your face.
Yes. एकदमै फ्रेस छ यो
זה אתה? אבא שלך. אתה דומה לו. ממש. So the picture up above is his father. And I was just
Oh,
saying
his
how he looks
father.
like his father.
Oh, wow. If I talk with anyone, they always talk about their father, forefather. Why they
There's
always
a-
talk about their
Why do people talk
generation,
about their fathers?
father, generation, father, forefather, grandfather? Okay, yes,
So
okay.
there are a few reasons why we were going to speak about our fathers and generations. First of all, it's our personal history, and how nice to be able to share that and explain to people the generations that came before us, and on whose shoulders, because of what they've done, we are still here. But also we have one of the commandments:
Yes.
honor your father and mother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for this man, when I just asked him about the picture It's the first time I've noticed it. His store exists since 1960, so his father probably opened it, right? So that's almost, what does that mean? More than 60 years old.
Oh, 60 years old.
And he's proud of his store and that this is his business and it was his father's business and he's proud of it.
Yeah, wow.
Show you here, you saw it the other night when you came on the tour. When the stores are closed, they're all painted with beautiful pictures. I don't know who this is, but it's someone famous from Jewish history some point. And all of the stores are closed. They have different paintings on it. So it's like walking through a museum at night. It's really a lot of fun. And it's the same artist. The same artist comes in. His name is, I forget what his name is, but he signs all of the art. And we'll see a few more of them that are closed.
हामी चाहिँ यो यहुदा मकानी मार्केटमा घुम्दैछौँ यहाँ चाहिँ यो यरुशलेम स्थित भित्र सहरमा भएको पुरानो मार्केट हो यो मार्केटको आफ्नै विशेषता छ किन भन्दाखेरि यो दिउँसो चाहिँ यहाँ फ्रेश फुडहरू राखिन्छ र राति चाहिँ सबै बन्द भएर यहाँ चाहिँ रेस्टुरेन्टहरू बारहरू एउटा रमाउने ठाउँ टुरिस्ट एरिया पनि छ त्यो भएको कारणले गर्दा यसको आफ्नै महत्त्व छ र मलाई साथी जोनाथनले घुमाउँदै हुनुहुन्छ अङ्ग्रेजीमा तपाईले कुनै कुरा बुझ्नु भएन भने पनि तपाईले कमेन्टमा लेख्न सक्नुहुन्छ हामी त्यो कुरालाई एक्सप्लेन गर्ने भर मजबुत कोसिस गर्छौँ Is there any significance of drawing a picture of anybody?
They're different people. The pictures are all different pictures of famous, of influential or significant people in Jewish history. So this, I'm really not sure who it is. It's very modern based on his glasses, but I'm not sure who it is. And actually, it would be a great book that I've thought about, taking a picture of the pictures and explaining who is behind this. But the one we just saw was probably a rabbi from 200 or 300 years ago. This is something that's certainly modern because you can see this the suit and tie and the modern glasses, but I don't recognize who it is. Here where we are, this is where you start to feel that a former market comes alive. You can hear the music. You see people eating, and the restaurants are so good and so famous here. So here's a pasta restaurant, and right across this is very, very famous fish and chips. And then here's a deli. And all of this whole area used to just be fruit and vegetables. But now it's becoming regentrified, and it's a place where people will come and just hang out. And I don't know if you saw it, but on in the evenings, this place will be packed. On Fridays, which is our weekend already, this place is packed. So many people.
I came here at night.
On Friday?
Yeah,
you
not
can't even.
Friday, but I think it was normal day when we were in Summit.
Yeah. That was at night.
Yeah, night.
But in the daytime, you can't walk. It's so crowded.
Day.
Also on Thursday nights and Friday especially. Yeah. All of the restaurants here are kosher, which means that there's no pork, there's no shellfish, and all of the chicken and all of the meat and all of the lamb is slaughtered according to kosher laws, and we don't mix milk and meat. So everything you see here exists that's kosher.
Why Jewish people don't mix milk and meat?
Because we don't mix milk and meat because there's a phrase in the Torah that says you shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. So from that we learn that we don't mix milk and meat. That's what the rabbis have taught us from ancient times. But you don't get thin eating kosher food.
Yeah, that's true.
This is so interesting. This is a synagogue in the middle of the market. So it will tell us at what time the prayers are, so that everyone who works here, we Jews pray 3 times a day. There's a morning, an afternoon, and an evening prayer.
Wow.
This is telling us at what time, at 2 o'clock, there's the afternoon prayer here. So people will leave their shops and come here to pray, and it will line up out in the hallway, and then at 5 o'clock is the evening prayer.
Wow. And in morning?
In the morning, I guess they don't do it here because they're just setting up and people will pray at home.
दर्शकवृन्द यो ब्याकग्राउन्डमा भएको चाहिँ सिनेगग हो जो चाहिँ यो मार्केटको बिचमा छ यहाँ चाहिँ यहुदीहरू विशेष गरेर प्रार्थना गर्ने समय छ यहुदीहरूले 3 चोटि प्रार्थना गर्छन् तपाईले देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ बिहान दिउँसो र बेलुका गरेर अनि अब 2 बजेको समयमा यो मार्केटको एरियामा यहुदीहरू यहाँ आएर प्रार्थना गर्छन् त्यसपछि साँझको 5 बजे चाहिँ उनीहरू यहाँ आएर प्रार्थना गर्ने गर्दछन् यो मार्केटको बिचमा पनि यहुदीहरूले यसरी आफ्नो सिनेगग बनाएर प्रार्थना गर्ने एउटा समय चाहिँ तोकेको छ यो एकदमै आश्चर्यमय कुरा छ हैन
So this is one of the bars. It's a special Israeli brewery. They make their own beer. And at night especially, people will come here. Tables will be pulled out. You can even see all the tables inside, and they'll be pulled out in this whole area. People are drinking their beers and eating kosher hot dogs. And what was used to be here? No, this is Flowers. This will be open probably on Thursday and Friday because people buy flowers for Shabbat.
This market was open during Shabbat also?
No, not on Shabbat.
Not
Right. So that's a great question. Because we observe Shabbat as a complete day of rest, no work of any sort. So first of all, we don't cook as part of a kosher, but no businesses will be open that are observing Shabbat as we do as Orthodox Jews. So this place, if you walk through on Shabbat, it's the nights, many of the stores are closed. When you come on Friday night and Saturday, it's empty. Empty, and you can see all of the pictures on the doors because there's nobody here working. So we were talking before about traditional foods. So this place is called the Jachnun Bar. The Jachnun is basically fried dough. And it comes from the tradition of the Middle East, of Jewish communities that lived in the Middle East. So this is a traditional Middle Eastern Jewish food that becomes very popular and great music. Other than the colors of all the fresh fruit and vegetables, what's so amazing in Israel is that fruit and vegetables are really, really fresh. They're coming, everything is grown here. And what's so interesting, and I find it's even charming, especially coming from America where you can buy any fruit, anytime. It doesn't matter what season it is. You can buy anything you want all the time. It's not always good. What's so interesting is that this is all seasonal. So there are times, now we're in the winter, so the citrus fruits are popular, apples, pears. We'll see a beautiful orange fruit called persimmon in English. This is all what's available now. 6 months, and we're seeing strawberries coming into the market because it's the beginning of the strawberry season. But in 6 months, we won't see those things. And I love that because it shows that we're not importing food from other countries that's not really so fresh or tasty. This is all grown in the land. And what's amazing from a prophetic point of view is that in Ezekiel, God says when the Jewish people come back, when we come home, the land, it's almost as like the land will breathe a sigh of relief and blossom again. And that's what we see. It's a miracle. Yeah. It's a real miracle to see all of this. And when I taste it, I think of the fact that it's tasting prophecy. It's not just making a salad. I'm actually tasting prophecy.
Wow.
היא יכולה לטעום את הענבים לוידאו בנפאל? Yes.
Thank you. उहाँले चाहिँ मलाई एउटा स्ट्रबेरी टेस्ट गर्न दिनुभयो स्ट्रबेरीको साइज हेर्नु यहाँ यत्रो ठुलो छ र यहाँ पुरा फ्रुट्सहरूको पसलहरू पनि देखिरहनु भएको छ र एकदमै फ्रेस फलफुलहरू तरकारीहरू चाहिँ यो ठाउँमा पाइने गरिन्छ र अघि उहाँले भन्नुभएको जस्तै जस्तै म इजरायलमा भएको फ्रुटहरू टेस्ट गर्छु अनि यो चाहिँ प्रतिज्ञा पुरा भएको महसुस गर्छु भन्नुभयो मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो आनन्द लाग्यो त्यो कुराले जस्तै हामी यो फ्रुट्सलाई टेस्ट गर्छौँ परमेश्वरले यो देशको लागि गर्नुभएको प्रतिज्ञा चाहिँ पुरा भएको हामी देख्न सक्छौँ यो चाहिँ निकै आशिषको कुरा हो Can I taste it? Nice.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
You have that at home?
My husband really like this.
So you'll bring him some home.
Yeah. My husband really like this.
Yeah. Here, it's...
Sorry,
Ma?
sorry.
No, no, Kama is a kilo? Kama is a kilo? So it's 18 shekels for a kilo, which is $3 for a pound.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Or $6 for a kilo. I don't know what that is in Nepalese.
It's more expensive than
home-
Nepal.
yeah.
But it's big in size.
Those are huge.
Huge, yes.
So look at these. Okay. So now we're set on the first day of the holiday of Hanukkah, 8 days long. And we're
The Hanukkah is celebrated for 8 days.
Hanukkah we celebrate for 8 days. Today is the first day. And so one of the tradition on Hanukkah is to eat foods that are fried. Now I haven't seen another one of the foods, but all of these donuts are, and you can see how beautifully decorated, mashallah. And all of these are the traditional donuts that we tasted, the sufganiyot. But you can see that this is a work of art. It has chocolate and sprinkles and a little ice cream cone on top, and work chocolate and pretzels, and even mini cookies. They're too beautiful to eat sometimes.
Yeah. Yes.
This is one of my favorite stores in the market,
Wow.
Hanishma. One of my favorite stores because we were talking before
Yeah.
about kosher means not mixing milk and meat.
Yeah.
So all of this, kama sugim gvinayesh? Elef. He has 1,000 different kinds of cheese,
Wow.
and they're all kosher.
हजारवटा भन्दा बढी चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ चिजको परिकारहरू यहाँ राख्नु भएको छ र यहुदीहरूले चाहिँ दुधको आइटम र मासु चाहिँ मिक्स गर्दैनन् त्यो भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ यो मिल्कद्वारा बनाइएको हो हजारवटा भन्दा बढी चिजहरू चाहिँ
Look how
यहाँ
colorful. This is pesto and tomato.
Oh wow, it's also cheese.
Yeah.
Wow, why Jewish people eat a lot of cheese?
It's not that we eat so much cheese, but this is a special store because they
okay.
import from all over the world cheeses that are especially kosher.
Oh wow.
Try this.
Try ma.
Oh, thank you.
Butter
Thank
with
you.
sun-dried tomatoes, balsamic.
Truffle butter with sun-dried tomato and balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
Fine.
Nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
Another way that we know that we see that the land has blossomed, not just fruit and vegetables, but the wines. Most of the
Yes.
wines we see here are Israeli wines, and Israeli
Wow.
wines now are unbelievably good. So you'll have a wine like this, where the grapes that are grown in Samaria, and a wine like this, where the grapes that are grown in the lower Judean mountains, and I don't know where they're all from. Yarden is from the Golan Heights, this was one of the first really fancy high-end kosher wineries here in Israel.
What is this?
This is called halva. It's
Halva.
made from ground sesame seeds.
Oh.
Is it Tamza? It's chocolate and coffee flavored.
Oh wow.
So try it. You get your first halva.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah?
Why they put so many?
There's a lot of sesame.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very Middle Eastern.
Yeah, why?
Why? It's just something that's used in the Middle East,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
right?
I want.
So here, wait, come. So here, what's amazing, here's sort of original halwa, which is just sesame and probably sugar.
This one?
This one is original. But now we see they make many, many other flavors. So we have pistachio and pecan and cappuccino, which I love. Kinder, so it's chocolate. What's this? Pistachio crunch, walnut.
Thank you.
Which one is that? We don't know.
I don't
Looks like
know.
pistachio.
It is nice.
It's good, huh?
Yeah. What is the name of this
The name of the food, it's called halva.
halwa?
Halva.
From what it's made?
No.
From tahina. From tahina and honey.
Honey. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they put in kind of fistuk, whatever,
Pistachio.
and almonds and
Wow.
yeah, and vanilla and chocolate.
You like it?
I love it. Everyone was brought up in
Yeah.
Israel by it,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic. It's on all the Arab.
It's used for dessert or like in a lunch or dinner?
No, it's also when we were kids, we used to get sandwiches to school. A sandwich, 2 slices of bread, in the middle halva and a lot of butter. And this was sandwich. And we were very lucky when we got it.
It's relatively healthy.
Yeah, it's
halva.
good.
Yeah.
If they don't put sugar inside, or
Right.
now they can add sugar, but mostly I tasted this. This is not, it's not very sweet, but it's very full. It's very
Yeah.
And now they're making ice cream with halva and
That's
everything.
true.
Yeah, only now.
What is your name?
Ella.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
It's Nilima.
Nilima from
Yes.
where?
Nepal.
Mm,
Nice to meet you.
my husband was in Nepal for long. I was in India,
Oh,
and I'm waiting.
Oh,
Waiting.
Yeah,
nice to meet
we
you.
love the East.
Yeah.
Good. So you're visiting here?
Yeah, I'm visiting. I'm journalist.
I journalist for Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, no, not New Year. I will only spend time here until Christmas.
Ah, nice. And you'll go to Nazareth and Bethlehem.
Yeah, I'm planning to go in Nazareth also.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your
Yeah,
stay.
thank you.
Middle Eastern desserts. They're you see again from a kosher perspective. So there's dairy in the middle, so that we wouldn't eat this with meat.
Meat?
And what we would not eat it with meat, it's
Meat,
dairy.
yes.
But what they're doing here, look at this. They make you an individual one. This has halva. They do different flavors on top. It's called kanafa, which is the stringy dough, and they fry it, and then they'll put many toppings on.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
Yes, yes.
Oh, יש לכם את כל החלבה פה. לא הכל. So this place is called the halva kingdom, if you will. This is what we just tasted before, the halva, many different flavors. יש לך את החליף? Sham, okay. So, but what halva is made from is sesame. So, in English, people call it tahini. In Hebrew, it's called tahina. This is ground sesame as a liquid, as a paste, and you can see how it's made on the stone. It's sesame seed that's ground, and you can see it leaking out, and they collect it from the bottom.
nice. It's just til in Nepali. Til in Nepali. Til.
Do you have that? Do people,
Yes,
yes.
yes. We use especially in pickles.
Pickles. Interesting.
Yeah, and for boil also.
Okay, so here,
तिलबाट बनेको दर्शक पनि यो सबै चाहिँ तिल हालेर यसरी यहाँ बनाइरहेको छ बाहिर त्यहाँ छ रेडी छ अनि यो यसरी बनाएर चाहिँ के मिसाएर यसमा यो खानेकुरा बनाउँदो रहेछ नाम पनि अलिकति अप्ठ्यारै छ तर पनि ठिकै छ
Try something special in the meat.
picantini.
והפקה שאני עושה עם סילה, 100% בשמרים.
מעניין.
יותר טעים, אבל יותר פחות מתוק. את זה יותר טוב. Because I lose. Speak English or English?
He speaks English.
Yeah.
This is hazelnuts. I cover it in date honey and roasted coconut. But this one tastes different. You probably know the chocolate Ferrero Rocher, the golden one.
Right.
It has the same taste exactly, but no chocolate on it. But for you guys, you can snack it all the night and wake up skinny and pretty. It's amazing.
So this is interesting. If you're going to bring something home,
If you want, you can also do mix of them.
these are pecan with date honey. Now, what's important about it, it's much less sweet than sugar. But when the Bible speaks about the land of milk and honey,
Yeah.
it's honey from dates. It's not honey from bees.
Honey from what?
Dates,
Dates. Oh, really?
right?
Wow.
So we should find you. You have to bring that home. Ah, here we go. So this is called in Hebrew silan. It's date honey. You can wrap it well in plastic so it doesn't spill in your luggage. And this is delicious. It's honey, 100% made from dates, no sugar. And it's delicious on fish and on chicken, and sometimes people will bake with it, and you can put it in tea, or you can be really creative like they are, and put it on dates, on pecans and roast it. Go.
Next the video inside. Colors.
Yeah. Wow.
You know za'atar, the spice?
Yeah, better.
I wanted to try this
Za'atar.
mix. I make this myself. It's the best one. It's mixed that I make with za'atar, pesto, almonds, blueberries. Try a little bit of this. It's cooked already. It's delicious. Well,
Yeah, you can try.
tell you what you do with it.
Okay, fine.
Because it's cooked already, just take this and put
Wow,
on the top
nice.
on everything, on rice,
Wow.
on salad, on cheese, on
Yeah.
bread. My mom, for example, she likes to use this for Shabbat. She cooks salmon fish in the oven. In the end, she just covers
Sure, better.
Heaven, this is the best one. It's amazing.
Sounds
She
good.
puts on everything, on rice, on salad, on chicken, cheese, pasta. This is the best one. I make this myself.
You made it.
I
What-
make it myself, yeah.
What's in it?
Za'atar, pesto, almonds, blueberries, garlic, salt, sesame, a lot of other spices. But you have also all the rest. The rest also very good. You have the barbecue one. It's better for chicken, on potatoes, on everything. The other one, it's better for salad. If you make like a cabbage salad, you just cover some on the top. It's also give you crunchy taste. It's also very beautiful. But I prefer the za'atar one. It's the best one. It's the most Israeli one. I explained to you a little bit about the store. My grandfather opened the store before like 50 years in 1974. After my father worked here like 20 years, and now it's my turn. I'm the third generation that work here, me and my cousin. I work here like 10 years, and we try to be the best one every time to make new stuff that nobody
Great.
don't have.
It's great.
Now everyone know Pitzur Dani is the best place.
How do you feel to work your family business? How do you feel?
It's nice. It's fun. Also the market is fun because it's everyday new people, and it's a very beautiful place also. And we eat so much every day,
Yeah.
then it's not boring.
Yeah. And your father. And
My
now-
father also, before like 10 years, opened a bigger store where we live in Mevaseret Zion. We have another store, but bigger, like double 5 from here. Then he worked there, and I work here.
Yeah. And from where you bring all of these items? And
It depends. Not all of them. It's from same way. You have, for example, the dry fruit. Most of them come from Thailand. The nuts, couple of them from US and other places, and the nuts, but I make them myself. I roasted them myself. My father actually roasted them. Then we make everything here, all in the other place we have, and that's it.
Do your pistachios come from Iran?
This one is from US, but you have it out in my other store. I have the second kind. This comes from Iran.
Iran. So that's funny because when you have food from Iran, Israel has no relations with Iran, so you buy them through Turkey probably?
Yeah, maybe.
Somewhere.
Yeah. How many people want to buy all the spices and all these nuts?
What, in day? A lot. I don't know to tell you. I don't know how many to tell you, but a lot. It's depending on the day. You have days in the market that have a lot of business, more, and it's more easy. It's depending on the day here. After that I finish the work here, I go to the other place. We have bigger place there. Then we have more place to make the stuff. Then like 2 hours a day, something like this. I work with my father and I help him to make the stuff. He make also all the day, but if I finish here, I go to help him a little bit, and we make all more stuff.
How many generations is your family in Israel?
4.
4 from where?
My grandfather,
Yeah.
from both of the 2 sides. It's one side born in Iraq.
Okay.
The family of my father,
Okay.
and the mother side it's from Turkish.
From Turkey. So Stali, what miyakut? Okay.
100% pure.
See, this is the ingathering of the exiles. His family came from Turkey and Iraq. My family originally from here. Then we got scattered in Poland, and we went to America, and now we're back here.
Thank you very much.
You too. Have a great day.
Can you explain me why this country was called country of milk and
The land of milk and honey. So I don't know why God called us the land of milk and honey, but Israel is referred to the land of milk and honey in the Bible many, many times. And the idea is to underscore how abundant the land is, that even when we were slaves in Egypt, coming out of a place that was abundant with many things, God said he would bring us to the land of milk and honey. And that signifies prosperity. But what's so interesting is when we speak about the honey is made from dates.
Wow.
It's not made from bee honey, which is something that's so common in our lives today. And it's natural, and it's sweeter, and it's also prophetic, because here we are in the land of milk and honey, and we have some of the best dates in the world.
Wow. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes,
At last,
of course.
Do you want to say anything?
Well, anyone who's watching this, first of all, blessings from Jerusalem to you in Nepal and anywhere else in the world you may be. It's really a privilege for me to be able to share with you. Certainly, stay in touch. You can visit our website, genesis123.co, or follow the podcast, which is in English, at Inspiration from Zion. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we have podcasts, and you can be in touch by email also at inspirationfromzion@gmail.com. God bless you.
Bye-bye. र दर्शकवृन्द आज मसँग चाहिँ जोनाथन हुनुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँ चाहिँ यहाँ रहेर जर्नलिस्टको कामहरू पनि गरिरहनु भएको छ र यस ठाउँमा उहाँ जुइस पनि हुनुहुन्छ, युवती पनि हुनुहुन्छ र आज चाहिँ मलाई यो बजारमा घुमाउनु भयो। यो चाहिँ जेरुसलेमको बीच भागमा रहेको यो बजार हो, जहाँबाट चाहिँ जेरुसलेममा चाहिँ फ्रेस तरकारीहरूदेखि लिएर सबै कुरा पाइन्थ्यो र म धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। कतिपय कुराहरू अङ्ग्रेजीमा भए तापनि मैले चाहिँ आज धेरै इन्जोय गरेँ यहाँबाट र तपाईँहरूले पनि धेरै गर्नुभयो होला भन्ने आशा लिएको छु। धेरै धन्यवाद धेरै दिनुभएको लागि। एट लास्ट थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच फर वाचिङ आवर ब्लग्स। बाई बाई, सी यू, बाई।
God bless you.